House Speaker Mike Johnson said Sunday that the U.S. is investigating a security breach that led to the alleged leak of classified documents about Israel's plans to attack Iran. The materials became public over the weekend on the messaging app Telegram. The documents, first reported by CNN and Axios, detail weapons transfers allegedly intended for a strike on Iran. They also say the U.S. is aware of recent Israeli military exercises conducted in preparation for a possible Iranian attack. A retaliatory Israeli strike has been expected since Iran fired nearly 200 missiles at Israel earlier this month. Iran says those airstrikes were in response to Israel's increased attacks on Hezbollah in Lebanon, including the assassination of the group's leader. For more on this, I want to bring in CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata. Charlie, thank you for being here. How serious is this leak? How does something like this happen?
Well, it's serious and it's obviously sensitive. Defense officials I spoke with here will only say they're looking into it. The question is, was it a leak or was it a hack? And if that's the case, where will there be more of them? It first popped up over the weekend on that text app that you said that had previously posted pro-Iranian content. Now, they first said it came from a whistleblower at the Department of Defense after saying it was originally a leak from U.S. intelligence. But the Biden administration and others have called it very concerning. Now they'll have to figure out the source of that leak and try to make sure this isn't the first of many, as we have seen in the past. And if it's legit and we're not being steered away that it's not only highly classified information, but it shows how closely the United States is monitoring Israel.
So how does this affect how and when Israel might strike at Iran?
Well, there's not a lot here. I've got the 2 pages. That's a big giveaway, or necessarily compromises Israeli forces. It describes the positioning and repositioning of weapons, getting missile launchers and drones into place, moving some of their own missiles out of harm's way, dispersing is how they described it, to keep them safe from an Iranian counterattack. At least in these 2 documents, it isn't like a detailed layout of Israeli forces. It's more of a broad overview of Israeli readiness to strike Iran. But it is recent. It was October 15th and 16th, according to these documents. But for us, it's telling us what we've been told and reporting for several days now, that Israel is and has been in position to launch a significant attack on Iran in retaliation for that Iranian bombardment on October 1st.
Are there any indications Israel could use nuclear weapons against Iran?
Well, we're not going to read chapter and verse of these documents for obvious operational security reasons, and they're technically classified if they're legit. But there is one single reference to that, which reads, "We have not observed indications that Israel intends to use a nuclear weapon." What's interesting about that? Well, it's widely accepted that Israel has nuclear capacity. The Israelis have never officially acknowledged that.
The U.S. and Israel have always shared a very close-knit relationship. How does this leak affect that?
Well, it's not going to help. It shouldn't be much of a surprise that the United States has been using its vast surveillance and intelligence capabilities to get a handle of what's going on in the country and outside the country, first and foremost. And we're told that all the time. This is all about the protection of tens of thousands of U.S. forces across the region. But there's been frustration, some made public, some not, from the White House on down, that Israel has been less than forthcoming about informing the U.S. of major operations, like killing Hezbollah leader Hussein Nasrallah. The Israeli defense minister was informing the U.S. defense secretary of that operation while it was underway. He was on the phone to him. So the U.S. has sent considerable weapons to the area to defend Israel, including that new THAAD missile defense system. And, let's face it, a major strike in Iran has the potential to draw U.S. forces closer into this fight.
What are you watching for in the next few days?
I think we'll look for movement. What we have been told, and we've been asking pretty much on the hour, is it going to happen now? Is it going to happen? And events kind of got in the way, including, the killing of Sinwar last week. But as I said, I just need to nail down the fact that those Israeli weapons to launch an attack like the kind that we're expecting, the scale of the attack in terms of drones, in terms of missiles, in terms of their own self-defense, is already set to go, just waiting to pull a trigger. But, we're told that may not be that far away.
Charlie D'Agata at the Pentagon, thank you.